What's up, guys? It is Jasmine. I am back. With another video. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm really hoping that I don't feel like this on actual Thanksgiving. It's Monday, the Monday before Thanksgiving, and as I said in my other video, I fell in the desert. I think I have food poisoning. I have cramps and I have a slight fever. So I'm sorry that I look like this in all of the videos, but I figured you're really not going to care as long as there's some sort of content to watch, hopefully, you know. If it were up to me, I would probably be sitting in my living room watching Christmas movies right now, but it's frowned upon in this establishment. My husband does not let us do anything Christmas until Thanksgiving is over. He's one of those people, and I'm just kind of like, whatever. Because I've noticed if I start celebrating Christmas a little bit early, then by the time Christmas comes around, I'm all burnt out and it doesn't even feel like Christmas. So I'm fine waiting. But like, there's a couple Christmas movies that are on Netflix right now and I want to watch them. Anyways, happy Thanksgiving. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into my video. Paul Micah Merhige was born on September 10th, 1974. Paul was a really good guy growing up. He was close to his family. He was a really nice guy. He was a funny guy. He, you know, hung out with his family. He hung out with friends. His yearbook quote was actually said to say, "To my family, I love you and I will forever." He also started kind of going downhill when he got into college. He was a happy kid, as I said, but when he got into college, he was a little, I think, taken aback by the whole college experience, and so he ended up having a nervous breakdown, started suffering from OCD when he entered college. After he was able to get the help that he needed for that specific situation, he was always a little bit of a different person. He then started, he was suffering from insomnia, he started gaining weight, and he would repeatedly bathe and shave multiple times a day because of the OCD. He started having issues making simple decisions, and he wasn't able to hold down a job. And as somebody who suffers from anxiety and slight OCD, I totally understand what they mean by like unable to make decisions. I have that problem. A lot of times I just tell my husband order for me because I can't make a decision and I don't know what it is, but it's like I'm standing there and I'm panicking because I feel like I can't make the decision fast enough, and what if I don't make the right decision? And it's bad. So I could tell just reading some of the things that he definitely suffered from OCD. He'd often skip his medication. He attempted suicide. And then he even threatened to kill one of his sisters. So he was just slowly spiraling out of control. Even though he was spiraling out of control, he was still able to play baseball, football, and soccer. Led the French Honor Society. He was driven and mature, and he also graduated third of his class from Silver Prep, which is a very prestigious college in Florida. Kevin Beaver, a professor from Florida State, actually made a quote saying, "Mental illness often comes out in college. Pre-existing conditions are triggered by stress and drastic life changes." And I think it might have been what happened to Paul. After he graduated from college, he completely isolated himself from his family. He barely came around. He just kind of did his own thing. He lost contact with them. They didn't really know much about him. And after a decade of not having contact with his family, he popped up at his parents' house a couple days before Thanksgiving. He ended up asking his parents for his passport. They gave it to him. He left, but what they didn't know, he also bought 4 guns. He also took out $12,000 in cash from his bank account, and he bought a cover for his Toyota Camry. Here we are on Thanksgiving Day at Jim and Meryl Sitton's house. They were in the process of getting Thanksgiving dinner ready, and Paul's dad said, "Hey, Paul's coming to Thanksgiving. Can he get some directions to get here?" And they were shocked. They hadn't heard from him in over 10 years, so they were amazed that they were going to be able to have him come. Paul sat down at dinner. He ate just fine. They all gathered in the living room by the piano. They were singing songs. The Sitton's daughter, Michaela, did a small little impromptu performance of some of the songs that she was going to be singing in the Nutcracker, because the opening show was going to be the next day you know, like a Black Friday deal. And so they were like, well, she can practice, we can all sing along. He sat down for that, everything was going great, and he decided to walk out to his car. He then came back in with a gun, and he shot Raymond Joseph, 76, Paul's two twin sisters, Lisa Knight and Carla Merhige, 33. Lisa was also pregnant at the time. He also shot Carla's husband, Patrick. He survived, and a bullet actually grazed another man named Clifford Gabbara, age 52. He then walked into 6-year-old Michaela's room and shot her twice, once in the hip and once in the back. He then pointed the gun at his uncle and he pulled the trigger twice, but the gun wouldn't go off. After that, he walked away and said out loud, "I've been waiting 20 years to do this." He fled the scene and he evaded police for over a month. At this point, there was a manhunt out for this guy. You know, he had murdered 4 people and technically a fetus, a baby, whatever you want to call it. There was a $100,000 reward for any information leading to his capture. And he was also featured that Saturday night on America's Most Wanted, where Jim and Meryl spoke about the attack from Michaela's parents. Then on January 2nd, 2010, police received a tip from the Edgewater Lodge at mile marker 65.5 in the Florida Keys. The tipster said that the man looked a lot like Paul, and he had checked into the motel on December 2nd under the name John Baca and provided an address that was located in Homestead. He was in a second-floor room when police busted down the door and found him sitting in there on his computer. He was tased and taken into custody, and he put up no fight. Now, I don't know if he didn't put up a fight because he was tased or if he just didn't put up a fight. I was wondering about that, but I couldn't find any information. And he was arrested at around 10:30 at night and was brought into the police station at 1:30 a.m. the next day. Florida State was seeking the death penalty for the atrocious things that he had done, but instead he entered a plea bargain and he received 7 life sentences. He is currently being held at Lake Correctional Institute in Claremont, Florida. And that's pretty much it. I know that's not a lot of information and it was pretty quick. There was a lot of details that I just didn't want to put in because it is Thanksgiving. But I thought I would kind of touch on mental illness for a minute. I'm noticing more and more and more that people who are doing crazy things like this, everybody says, oh, they were so nice, they were so normal. People who are committing suicide, oh, I never would have expected it. And I feel like we really need to check in on people. If you notice that somebody's just kind of stopped talking to you and you know you didn't do anything wrong, or you've noticed that, you know, they used to post all day every day on Facebook and now suddenly they're not posting that much, check on them. Let them know you're thinking about them, because I think the worst feeling ever is to feel like nobody cares, to feel like you've been forgotten. You know? I felt that way growing up. I always felt like it didn't matter because nobody cared. Nobody knew what I was going through. Nobody knew I existed. I wasn't suicidal, but I feel like a lot of people in my situation very well could have been. I think the only reason I wasn't suicidal is because I'm afraid of death. So I find it very interesting that a lot of us can look at a situation in hindsight and be like, oh, I didn't notice a thing. I think we're all struggling, and I think that we really need to take some time to be there for people and to reach out to people and let them know that they have a circle of people who care about them, especially around the holidays. The holidays are some of the loneliest times for people. You know, the rest of the year you can kind of cope. But during the holidays, when you see everyone posting about being with family and about all the fun things that they're doing, that's when you really need to check on people. I say check on them all the time, but around the holidays, honestly, do it. If you realize somebody just went through a rough breakup and they don't have any family that are near them, invite them to your house for Thanksgiving. Invite them to your house for Christmas. I'm not saying you have to buy them a gift. Just be like, would you like to come over for Christmas dinner? Invite them over for Thanksgiving. As you know, if you know that they're a good person and you know they don't have anybody, you need to reach out and you need to be their support system. We have to take care of each other. It's becoming an epidemic, you know? And I feel like we really need to just step up and we need to work on being better people, and just a simple hi, a simple smile to a stranger, you know, that can change their day. You never know what somebody's going through. This person, obviously, Paul was going through a lot. Paul was dealing with mental illness. He felt abandoned. You know, they've even said that they think the only reason that he killed 6-year-old Michaela is because he was insanely jealous that everyone was paying attention to her when she was singing. When she was singing. Most people don't think he wanted to kill her. He didn't go there originally to kill her. It's just the mental illness and the jealousy he was feeling from seeing everybody woo around her from singing, he killed her. You know, you've got to let people know that they're cared about. And I'm not saying you have to go a million miles out of your way to do it, but you know, if there's somebody and you know you're close to them, go ahead and just make sure they're okay. If you guys like this video, go ahead and give it a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you guys are enjoying your time. Bye.